If you want to turn your views into cold hard cash, then you've come to the perfect video because I'm going to show you the monetization system that we've crafted at audientize, and also the one that I've been personally using to turn a YouTube channel that has 4,900 subscribers into $20,000 a month. First of all, you need to understand what your audience is. What do they like and why do they actually watch your videos? So you go into the audience, you go into the niche, you look at what your opponents are doing, you look at what other channels that are similar to what you're doing, what they do and how they earn money and if they're successful at it. Then you look at how much we're actually going to make and what's the best path to take, because if you think about it, there are hundreds of different ways to monetize a YouTube channel, but you need to really think about what the best one is. You want to concentrate 80% of your energy on the 20% of the stuff that works the best, instead of concentrating 10% of your energy in 10 random different stuff. Now after that, what you want to do is you want to go step by step and write it all down. It doesn't need to take that long. Just put down 10-15 minutes of what your plan is, how you're going to launch it, how you're going to market it, and how you're actually going to convert your viewers. Then after that, it goes on to the second stage, which is building. So the building phase is one of the most important phases, because even if you have viewers, even if you have a big audience, if what you build isn't above average, it doesn't need to be amazing, it doesn't need to be outstanding, but if it isn't above average, then you're going to have quite a hard time, making the maximum amount of money. The building stage can be the difference between earning $20,000 from a launch or $200,000 from a launch, even if a product's just 10% better. So you first need to think about, how am I going to price this? There are normally 3 price ranges. So there's high ticket, where it's normally done for you. So you basically do everything for them, and you work one-on-one. That's more consulting, that's more, programs. Then there's done with you, and the mid-tier pricing, which is basically, okay, so I'm not going to spend and devote all my time to you, but we can chat now and then, I can support you, and I'm going to personalize it a little bit for you. So the high ticket's normally around above $3,000, I like to say. $3,000, $2,000 a minimum, but normally 5 figures plus. The mid-tier is normally around $497, $500, $600. So it's in the middle of around $1,000. So, from $400, $600. Then there's low tier. So low tier can be anything from $7 or, even lower, but $7 is normally the minimum that I see with my agency, and all the way to $97. So in that low tier, you're really looking to sell stuff en masse. You're looking to sell it to thousands, tens of thousands, and hopefully hundreds of thousands of people. And you're not devoting any of your time in it. In fact, you're building it once and selling it 1 million times. Because you don't want to be spending 2 hours on fulfilling an order that's, $40, because your time's more valuable than that. But if you can spend a couple weeks, and of course we can help. All of this, what we're doing right here, is basically what we can do for you. I mean, I've done this with over 50 creators, me and my team. It's not me, I work for audientize agency. And we've basically done this with over 50 creators, unlocked $12 million in revenue, and we're experts of this. So click the link down below if you want to learn more about this. But anyway, I'm helping you how to do it yourself. Even though, we can do it a little bit better and we can do it all for you. But anyway, after you've done the pricing, so there's low tier, mid tier, high tier, then you go into infrastructure setup. Now, what this sounds quite complicated, but really it really depends on what you're selling. So if you're selling a digital ebook, for example, then do you really need a high professional website? Do you really need to, launch a whole products line? No, you don't really need to do that. But let's say you're selling a course, then yeah, you might want a landing page. You might want to set up a form that the people fill out so you can qualify your leads. You're going to have to do a bit more building. If you want to do a physical product, if you want us to help you launch a physical product, whether it's an energy drink, snacks, toys, whatever, well then that's even harder. And that's where we really come in. But we can help you from anything from, selling a digital ebook, selling a course, selling a community, to selling a physical product. Now, conversion funnel development and testing. And shameless plugs here, but this is what we're really good at. We develop and we go over the funnels, with people that we hire in, people who don't know anything about you, pretending that they're a viewer, and really looking at, out of 100 alternatives, what's the best way, down to the size of a bullet point, down to the, where you should structure the text, because of these little these little details that you add to your offer, add to your infrastructure, add to your pricing, they're really the things that, all these little details add up together and they become very, very good in the end and they compound on each other. Because let's say you didn't do this development and testing and you launch. That can be a huge difference because you don't know what people like and you're raw launching it without any testing before. So phase 3 is launching it. Now, the first step of phase 3 is a messaging. So what we do and what you can do if you want to do it by yourself is really just write down 5 points on what you want to get across and literally one-liners. So it could be, we help you do this. We help you turn eyeballs into earnings. Blah, 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 blah. 5 points that you always want to go back to. Basically a framework. And basically if you were to have 5 laws, that's what your product would stand by. So anytime you're lost or anytime someone asks you what you guys do, you're going to have 5 ready-made lines in your head that you just blur out because it's always good to promote the same thing every single time. Even though you want a little bit variation, you could be posting on TikTok, you can be posting on shorts, you can be posting long films, podcasts, blogs. So you want to be altering your messaging, of course, and content, of course, but you want to have the same core value behind it. So yeah, write down a couple of your stuff of what you're doing, what you're selling, and what it really does to help your viewer and the problems that it solves. Now, this is the fun part. The middle of phase 3 is the funnest part, promoting your offer. Now, if you do this with us, and we've done this many times before, this is when we promote your offer. You post all the content that we've helped you make and helped you finalize and helped you maximize the earnings that you can get out of your audience. And this is when the money starts rolling in. So after phase 3, after the middle of phase 3, this is when the money starts ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. So you announce it and you basically do the best way you can announce it. So through organic content, targeted email, social proof, from all these different methods of promoting it. But you don't want to be salesy. That's the most important thing. You really do not want to be salesy. And of course before you announce it, of course, you want to be pre-launching it and generating hype and buzz. So instantly after, the second you launch it, what you want to be doing is you want to be looking at data, looking at analytics. Now, this is what we love to do at audientize because of the second we have all these systems set in place that the second you want to start promoting your offer, we start tracking every single thing. We start tracking the amount of milliseconds that the people spend on your landing page, what everyone's saying in the comment sections, how many likes a certain thing, the view retention, all of these different metrics you need to be tracking so you can continuously make your offer better. Let's say you launch with an 8 out of 10 offer. We don't always want it to be 8 out of 10 because then you're going to be continuously selling an 8 out of 10 offer. When with data-driven optimization and then the next phase, optimizing it and scaling it, we can turn that 8 out of 10 into an 11 out of 10 offer. So then every single time you sell and promote it, you convert more people based off of the data and based off of what your viewers have already shown you that they like and don't like. So like I said, optimizing and scaling. And the next step is advanced monetization strategy. Now this I love. This I really, really think that people don't, and they really, really underestimate it. The advanced monetization strategies is when you start implementing different ways to monetize the same audience. So let's say we got your primary offers. Well, then what we start doing is start upselling them, cross-selling them, because of a viewer and a fan and a follower and all of these people who love your content, who've already spent money on you, are going to be so much more willing to spend more money on you. They're 23.5 times more likely to spend money on you than having to acquire a new customer and having to make them pay. So it's a lot better to maximize the earnings from a viewer. So this sounds very sketchy. It sounds like, oh no, we're going to maximize the amount of money we can get from a person. We're going to provide the most value we can to the viewer, and we're going to help you earn the most money from every single person who watches your content. And yeah, like I say, upsell, cross-selling. You can have lots of different offers that can all be interlinked. So once you get them through a rabbit hole, that's when we start crisscrossing over into all of these different offers. And they end up buying a lot of them as it helps them with their journey, as they're actually providing a solution and that they're all interlinked. So traffic and audience growth. You need to keep in mind that we're turning eyeballs into earnings. We're helping you turn eyeballs into earnings, but you still need to have the eyeballs if you want to increase the earnings. So we want to compound the earnings and compound the eyeballs because they're both correlated. So with this, we have a lot of links in the industries. So there are ways that we can do collaborations, big events, interviews, and ways that you feel comfortable with. But we can help you increase your reach to people who actually really resonate with your audience. And most importantly, that can bait, and most importantly, earn you money. So yeah, market expansion exploration. So instead of just sticking in one micro niche or one industry, we can branch out, and we don't need you and your content for that. Instead, we can use your offer and we can bring them in from people, and we can find the people and target the people who'd be interested in your offer who aren't already your viewers, and start converting them as well into your system and the system that we built for you. So we come to a final phase, the handover phase. Now, all of these different phases are completely up to you, and we basically do it all for you, but along your preferences. These are not steady, fast, they're not fixed. We can do every single one of these for you based on what you feel comfortable with and what you want to go ahead with. But especially with the handover, right, it's completely up to you. So there's path A and path B. Path A is a full handover. So we basically, a comprehensive handover. We train you on exactly what you need to do. Training sounds really complicated, but we show you how you can carry on running the system. And of course, we give you ongoing support and consolation. So whenever you need help, if something's not going right, let's say that you're not growing as much as you want to. Let's say that your goal was from when we handed it over, you were earning $300,000 a month, and you wanted to be earning $400,000 a month in by the next 2 months, and you're at 380k. Well, give us a chat, and we'll jump on call, and we'll be looking at what's going on. But with path A, it's going to be more up to you. Now, path B, you can really, we can just keep on running it for you. We can keep on running it for you. You can just focus on what you do best, the content, attracting the eyeballs, attracting the audience, and then we can help, and we can do what we do best, is converting those eyeballs and making you the most money possible. So yeah, both of these ways, brilliant. Now, that was a video. Thank you so much. If you're interested in turning your eyeballs, or us turning your eyeballs into earnings, then the link down below, audientize.co. See you later. Bye-bye.